Hey everyone, so my name is Estrella Barrera and I am currently studying marketing and computer graphics technology at IUPUI. I am the marketing and communications intern at the Office of Sustainability at IUPUI, and today I'm just going to show you how to make a quick event flyer using the Adobe Illustrator program. So here we go. Now I'm going to show you how to make this flyer design at the right. So what you're going to do is go to File, click on New, click on the Print section, and then click on the letter, and then click on the bottom, Create. And for the sake of this tutorial, I've already created the flyer, so I have it on the left, and on the right is a blank canvas. So what we're going to want to do is click on File, Save As, and then we're just gonna save it to a folder and call it a flyer design. And you're gonna wanna save it as Adobe Illustrator format. Then click OK. Okay, so now we're gonna wanna start by designing our flyer. So in order to create this, you're gonna wanna use the rectangle tool, click on it and drag it to fill your entire canvas. And I'm just resizing it a little bit. Now I already have these colors already selected at the right, but you can basically get all these colors at the IU branding website. So now I'm just going to click on the eyedropper tool and then click on this dark gold color. Then click on out of it, and now I'm just going to add another rectangle on the inside. So now I'm just going to follow the same process. Click and drag, and then use the eyedropper tool and click on the cream color. Actually, I'm just gonna make it white. So I can also click on this bar right here and choose the white color. Now I'm gonna click out. And now I'm just dragging it a little bit to format it. I just want it to be a little bit thicker, so you can always just click on the outer boxes and use the tool to drag it with your cursor. And there you go. Now I'm going to click on the text on the type tool, and then I'm just going to click on the screen and it should pop up. And also, this font is a Benton Sans condensed font, which can also be found on the IU branding website. So now I'm just going to type in the education session. And then click on the selection tool and then format it. And then I'm just going to use the eyedropper tool again and clicking on the dark gold color. Then clicking the selection tool and getting out of that. Actually, I'm just gonna make it gold. And then if you want to make it bigger or smaller, you can click on the outer boxes and make it smaller or bigger. For this flyer, I'm just gonna make it a little bit bigger. And then just leave it there. Now I'm going to go to the type tool again and then add the date for this flyer. So the date is gonna be March 21st. And then I'm just going to drag it with my mouse and put it in the center. Now I'm just going to use the eyedropper tool and click on the dark gold again. Okay, and now I'm just going to add our text. So the time is 4 p.m. dash University Library, Ashby Room. And again, I'm just using the same font we used previously. Now I'm clicking on the selection tool and then I'm going to make it smaller. So I'm just going to resize it by clicking on the text on the outer boxes and then holding down the shift button and making sure I make it smaller. So now I got that done, and then I'm going to click on it And then I'm going to drag it to the bottom, making sure it's also at the center. And then I'm also going to use the eyedropper tool and clicking on the dark gold color. Okay. And then now I'm just going to center it as much as possible. Okay. So now we're going to make an illustration of a bee. So we're going to want to click on the shape tool and then click on an ellipse. So I'm just going to drag and make an ellipse. And now I'm going to click on the eyedropper tool and go to the gold color. Now I'm going to click on the shape, right click, and then click on the rectangle. And then I'm just going to drag this rectangle and clicking out of it. So now I'm just going to make sure that this rectangle is at the center of this other ellipse tool that we previously created. So I'm trying to make sure it's at the center. And now I'm just going to select all our shapes that we just made, both the ellipse and the rectangle. And now I'm going to go use the shape builder tool, click on that, and then hold the Alt button, and then click on the parts we don't need. And now as you can see, they're all gone and we only have half of an ellipse. So now we're going to click on that part and we're going to click the eyedropper tool and we're going to click on the dark gold color again. And then I'm going to turn down the opacity just a bit much. And then click on the selection tool to click out. Alright, there we go. Now I'm going to click on the rectangle box again because I'm going to make a rectangle again. And I'm going to make a small rectangle. And then I actually want to make this a brown color. So I'm going to go to the color picker and pick a dark brown color. There we go. Click OK. Then I'm going to click on the rectangle we just made. And then we're going to click on the Alt button and then drag it down. And then when you do this, you're going to want to make sure you're clicking on the rectangle and the Alt button at the same time so you can drag it down. Now we're going to click on both of the rectangles at the same time by clicking the first rectangle and then using the Control button and then clicking on the second rectangle. And now we're going to click on the Alt button so we can copy both of these rectangles. And now I'm going to drag all these up, and again I'm just going to click on this one rectangle and click on the Alt button so I can duplicate this one once again. And then we're done. Now I'm going to click on all the shapes that we made, and then we're going to go to the shape builder tool and we're going to click on Alt and delete the parts that we don't want. So just dragging a line across it so we remove all the parts we don't want. So now we're done. And now we're going to click on all of it and then right click and then click on group. And now we are going to make the wing part. So we're going to go to the shape tool and then click on the ellipse tool and then we're going to make an ellipse. Now we're going to drag this down to whatever looks good. I think that looks good. So now we're going to click on it, click on the eyedropper tool, and then we're going to click on this light cream shade we have here. Now I'm going to go to the shapes tool, right click, and then click on the rectangle. And again, we're just going to want to make sure it's at the center. Now we're going to use our cursor and we're going to select both of these objects. Now we're going to go to the shape builder. And now we're just going to click on the Alt button and remove the stuff we don't want. And then click out of that. And we have the perfect half of an ellipse again. Now we're going to click on that ellipse and use this light yellowish color. And then we're going to turn it down the opacity a little bit. And it looks good. Now we're going to click it, right click, group. And then I'm just going to drag it and rotate it. Now we're going to drag the body and then drag the wing that we just created. Now we're going to click on the wing again and then just rotate it a little bit, and then I'm actually going to drag this bottom box to make it a little bit bigger. Click on it, and then I'm just going to make this part a little bit smaller. Now I'm going to click on our wing that we made, and I'm going to make a copy. So in order to make a copy, you have to click on it and also press on Control plus C, and then you're going to want to click on Control V, and it should paste. Now we're going to click on the wing, right click, and then go to Transform, Reflect, make sure it's vertical, and then click OK. And now I'm just going to move it until it looks just about right. Just trying to make sure it's even. Okay. And now I'm just going to make the head. So in order to make the head, we're going to go to the shape tool, go to lips, and then we're going to make a simple circle. And then I'm going to choose a dark brown color on the, actually I'm just going to use the same brown on the body, so just use the eyedropper tool and then click on that color and it should do it automatically. Okay. And now I'm just going to rearrange it until it looks good. So just copy and paste again until it looks just about right, and it looks like the wings are above the body and the body is above the head. So now it's pretty much done. Now we're going to make the antenna part of the bee. So now we're just going to go to the shape tool again, go right click and rectangle, and we're going to make a very tiny rectangle, and then we're going to make it vertical, and we're just going to rotate. And now we're going to go to the eyedropper tool, make it brown, then Control C to make a copy of this and Control V to paste it. And we're just going to paste it onto the other side. And now we're just going to rotate the copy that we just made and then size it until it looks good. And now we're just going to select the whole shape of this bee, and then we're just going to group it. And now I'm just going to size it down by holding the object and then holding the shift and dragging it down so it's the perfect size. Now I'm going to the shape tool, ellipse tool, and then click on a ellipse and then select it and then make sure it's gray. So I'm just going to go to the color picker and pick the grayish color, click OK, click, actually I'm just gonna make it a little bit darker, and then click on the selection tool, and then we're done. And now I'm just going to resize it a little bit because I do want it to make it a little bit bigger. Now we're going to click on the B and right click, click arrange, bring forward. So now the B is in the front. And now I'm just going to move some things around. And we're done. And now we have this beautiful flower with our bee. And now I'm just going to resize the head just a little bit, and you can do this by dragging on the boxes with your mouse. And I'm actually going to select the body and make it, just change it a little bit. And there we go. Now we're done and it looks amazing. Now we're going to just go to File, Save. And you can also click on File, Save As, and save it to whatever folder you want and rename it whatever you want. And it is always best to save it as a PDF. so it can be shareable across multiple platforms. So with that, thank you so much for paying attention and for watching this video, and I wish you the best of luck. Thank you. And I hope you follow us on our social media accounts as well as on our YouTube channel to stay updated with the latest sustainability news at IUPUI. Thank you.